Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome tonight on this beautiful day that we're having today. I'm Colleen Vanderzijden, and this is Embracing Your Essence on Lily Dale Radio. And as you're coming on, please feel free to say hello to me today and where you're from. I'd love to see your name and where you are from. We are live on my Facebook page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach, as well as on Lily Dale Assembly Incorporated, the official Facebook page of Lily Dale Assembly. We are live in two places. I can see your comments on my page, but unfortunately I cannot see the ones on Lily Dale's page as they're happening. But as soon as the show is over, I will go through and respond to all of your comments. So as I said, I'm Colleen Vanderzijden, and this is Lily Dale Radio. Tonight we are going to be talking about how your life is your game. And before I get to that, though, I do want to give you some details, things you need to know. I am a registered medium at Lily Dale Assembly, which is the largest spiritualist community in the world. And I'm also a certified intuitive life coach. And as a life coach, I help people basically make their lives happier, better, and more manageable. And that's what we all want, isn't it? To have the happiest life possible. So every week on this show, I give you a tip, some ideas, a little mini workshop, if you will, to help you live your best life. And as you're logging on, say hello and tell me where you're from. I do believe I can see the comments today, so that's wonderful. And I would love to just know who's all here. Hi, Ray. Hi, Ashley. Denise. Look at all you lovely people. Joanne. Hi, Barb. I haven't seen you in a while. Joanna and Dana. Nice to see everybody. So, details, lilydaleassembly.org. You can find out all about Lily Dale there. Summer workshops are coming up at the end of June. The summer season will open, and we do have lots of things planned for this summer. You can go there and click on the Learn tab on the top, and that will take you to all of the workshops that are happening. There are some workshops happening before season starts. There are several workshops coming up very soon. They're all healing workshops that I've noticed so far. I was going to talk about healing tonight till I saw that, and then I thought, you know what, I'll just let them take care of that one. So there's an animal healing class coming up. There's a healing class with Tom Kretzley, an amazing healer. There's another one coming up with Vivian Puramel. I can't say his name right. So he's doing one as well. So there's lots of things coming up. If you have not gotten your program book yet, and this is probably backwards, but if it is, the program book is available, and you can call the office and pick up one there or have them mail you one, whatever you'd like to do. You can also access it online. So Lily Dale's Facebook page, Lily Dale Assembly Incorporated, is the official page, and you should follow Lily Dale if you haven't yet. And my page is Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. Follow me, please, if you will. That would be lovely. Hi, everybody. So nice to see you. Hi, Julie and Paula and Mick. Haven't seen you in a while, Mick. Hope things are well. Hi, Mom. Nice to see you. And hi, Kate. How wonderful. So tonight, what we are going to do is we are going to be talking about, as I said, how your life is your game. Have you ever had that experience where somebody is trying to control you, trying to tell you what to do, how to live your life? Isn't that fun when that happens? Not really. And I think so many of us have had that kind of experience with people telling us what to do. We feel like they're judging us, we feel criticized. And so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about 5 life rules, if you will, that can help you stand strong in the face of criticism. I will also talk about 3 ideas, I think it is, ideas to help you protect your energy when dealing with challenging people. Because, it's nice to have some strategies there to help us, because you know how that goes. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Now, I have a story to tell you to log into this whole idea here. Several years ago, I was watching the Olympics with a friend, and the figure skaters were on. And you know how it is when we are all watching TV, something special, sporting event, or the Olympics, whatever it is. What do, right? We start analyzing. And we were analyzing the figure skaters. And we were like, oh, that wasn't a very good landing. I can't believe she wobbled. Oh, I can't believe she got that score. She should have done it this way. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. Same thing, when a friend of mine used to watch football games, you'd be screaming at the TV. The coach should have done this. The coach should have done that. I can't believe that coach. He's so stupid. What we were doing when we were watching the Olympics, and what people do who are yelling at their TV sets during football games, is we're being armchair coaches. And an armchair coach is somebody who offers advice or opinions on something in which they have no expertise or involvement. Okay, for the most part. I'm obviously, or maybe not obvious to you, but it's obvious to me, I am not a figure skater. So I do not have any expertise in that field. Many people who are scream at the TV during football games or something. Some of them may have played football at one point in their lives, but I bet you they haven't been an NFL coach. So people who are armchair coaches generally like to share their opinions with other people. And if you're screaming at the TV, that's pretty harmless generally. But if somebody who's an armchair coach decides to direct their words at real people, live people, you, then telling other people how to live, being judgmental or critical, that's a different story. And hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. We are talking tonight about how your life is your game, nobody else's game, and some ideas to help you live that life. So, people who think they're experts love to share their knowledge, in quotes, with others. And you'll notice most of the time that's putting people down. They want to show how superior they are and how much they really know. And the way they do it is by pointing out all of the ways that you are wrong, how you're not living your life correctly, the right way. They tend to be know-it-alls, and it can be obviously very hard to be around them. So, have you ever experienced somebody like that? It's like a backseat driver. You just feel like you've got this person in your ear all the time telling you how you should live. I had a client once who was complaining about her mother. Even though my client was an adult, her mother kept telling her what to do and kept telling her how she was wrong. Sometimes right out and out, and other times it was more manipulative and not quite as obvious, like, oh, that hairstyle. That's just really not you. And maybe you should do it this way, and or sometimes directly do it this way. For my client, it felt like her mother was still treating her like she was 12 or 14. And she was having a really hard time feeling like an adult because her mother wasn't treating her like an adult. She kept telling her everything. I had another friend who was felt very judged by her colleagues. She had a horrible work environment, really, and they would continually put her down and tell her what she was doing wrong, of course. So she started second guessing herself and her abilities, and that negativity was really starting to drag her down. And then, speaking of armchair coaches, big examples on social media, right? You can post something there, just a general comment about whatever, and someone will come back and attack you for what you've said and tell you how your beliefs and your thoughts are wrong. And then sometimes they'll even twist what you've said, pivoting to a different topic, and then accusing you of supporting whatever it is they think you are doing wrong. They're telling you what you're doing wrong. Well, if you say this, then you must believe that. And that is not the case. That's another example of these armchair coaches who are trying to control other people. The thing is, your life is your life. Your life is your game. If someone is criticizing you, they have no expertise in your life. They're not the experts in your life. They're not living it. And even if they think they're helping you out, they're not. What they're really doing is trying to control you and make you act in the way they think you should act. Isn't that horrible? That's what's happening. And when this happens, it can be very mean and hurtful. And as time goes on, especially if you've had repeated people do this or a certain person in your life do this, you might start to feel like they really do know more than you do. I remember one of my radio show listeners a few years ago saying to me that she didn't trust herself. She trusted everybody else. She believed that they knew more about how she should live her life. And I said, well, let's work on that. So that was something we talked about then. But when this is going on, you start to doubt yourself and you won't believe in yourself. You won't believe in who you are or what you're capable of. These days, so many people think that it's acceptable to express a hurtful opinion under the guise of it's just their opinion and it's free speech. They don't have any awareness of kindness, decency, love, and certainly no empathy. And when people are like this, it can be really hard for people who are sensitive or empaths or basically just anyone, really, is what it comes down to. And it can be very tiring when we feel like we don't measure up. and we get stuck in that negativity. So we want to talk about how to switch this and stay strong in the face of that armchair coach. Because it is your game and you're the expert, you get to set the rules. Nobody else sets your life rules. You're the person who does it. So we're going to talk about 5 life rules, and you know me, they're not going to be the normal average ones, really. But these ideas that I have here can help you detach from another person's judgment or criticism. And then when you can step back from that and recognize that it's your game, your rules, then you'll get back on track to living your life the way you want to, and you'll be happier and you'll be freer. You won't be feeling down from all of these people. So if you're just joining me, we are talking about how to live your life and not play by somebody else's rules. And it's a fun topic to think about because we have been conditioned and programmed throughout our lives to pay attention to everybody else and not ourselves. So we're used to asking other people how to save us or to listen to their advice. It's a different thing if you ask for it, totally different if it's unsolicited. So we want to be strong in ourselves and who we are. So we are going to be talking about this. Kathy's saying, I've had that issue and struggle with trust. I've gotten better through counseling. Yes. Yeah, it's hard. And we have to break these old patterns. We've had these patterns a long time. So hopefully some of these ideas I'm going to talk about tonight can help you, even if you just pick one of them. And that can really set you on the path to your joy, which is where we want to be, right? So the first one is that to stay strong in the power of yourself, which is really what needs to happen, right? We have to stay strong in the power of ourselves so we're not swayed by other people, is to choose to believe in ourselves. We have to choose to believe it. For my client whose mother continually told her to do this, do that, tried to control her, this has been going on for many, many years. She grew up with it. She's been conditioned to listen to her mother. We want to think our mothers had the best interests at heart, and many of them do, but not all of them. And in her case, it was really hard. It's hard for us to stand up for ourselves, especially against, our parents or close friends or family. But we have to choose to honor, love, and respect ourselves. And that means we have to listen to ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves. My client chose to step back a little bit and realize what it was that was right for her. And then once she could figure that out, then she could move forward. People who criticize you and try to control you have nothing of value to offer you. Nothing. And it's interesting because we get these comments, and then what happens is we get all entangled up in the emotions of it. Like, oh, they said this about me, or they told me this, and then we feel badly about ourselves. They're not helping you. They have nothing of value to offer. Their opinions are not facts. They're trying to control you by triggering you in some way, so you get emotional. Once you get emotional and you get triggered that way, then you're not thinking clearly. And when you're not thinking clearly, you've disconnected from your power and you've stopped believing in yourself. You've stopped believing that you know what's best in your game of life. Now, here's something that's interesting. They can't make you feel inferior or unworthy unless you let them. It's not a conscious decision on our part to say, oh, make me feel unworthy. It's not a conscious thing. What happens is we have our own hidden insecurities and vulnerabilities where we just don't feel good enough. We have these weak spots where criticism can bring up our own issues, and then we feel unworthy and we're triggered. So even though they have triggered us in some way, they've brought this up into our awareness, they didn't make us do it. We have unconsciously chosen to allow them to do it for us. And I'm going to check in on the comments here for a second. Yes, your opinion of me is none of my business. That is right. Yes, we're going to have fun tonight. I'm speaking directly to you. I would love to speak directly to all of you. It is interesting how I pick my topics, or should I say Spirit picks my topics, and how many people resonate with them. So these people who trigger us, remember that if we believe in ourselves, staying true to ourselves, we're going to be stronger. If we get triggered, choose to learn more about ourselves. And then you're choosing to handle your own life as well as your insecurities from your perspective, not someone else's. You'll decide that your opinion is the only one that matters. When you believe in yourself, you're back in your power and you won't be as easily swayed by somebody else. It's very interesting. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more about ideas, of course, to how to stop yourself from getting triggered and what you can do with this information of what's happening. But I'll keep going, and I'm sure I'll come back around to some of this stuff too. Rule number 1 is choosing to believe in yourself. No, 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 K-N-O-W, know that you and only you are the expert in your life. You are the only one who really knows who you are and what's best for you. You're the only one who knows what's true. So it's essential that you stay true to yourself, that you believe in yourself. It's just essential. And we'll keep going. But I do want to know, in the game of your life, what rules are important to you? You may have some really interesting ones that I will not be talking about tonight. So I would love to hear what your ideas are. I'm going to talk about a few more, of course, but I would love to know what keeps you strong in your power. What keeps you feeling protected from other people? So rule number 1, choose to believe in yourself. It is a choice. They can't stop you. Whoever they are, can't stop you from believing in yourself. They can't unless you let them. Don't let them. Number 2, know your boundaries. We've all heard this, right? We've all heard it. Well, know your boundaries. We've got to decide what's acceptable or not. So if we have a problematic person or situation in our lives, we've got to decide what's acceptable. Because once you decide, then you can choose your response. But what happens, right, is we don't intentionally figure out our boundaries until after something's happened. I know that's how I am. My boundaries can be vague at times. We don't figure them out until after something's happened. And that's okay. That's fine, because every interaction in your life, every situation is an opportunity to teach you. So you're learning as you go. Nobody said, well, your boundaries should be this. We have to figure them out on our own. So this is fine. So looking back at past episodes of whatever, you can figure out what they are, and then you can use that information to strengthen or, if necessary, set some boundaries. You've got to listen to yourself, listen to your truth. Don't talk yourself out of what you know. If you know it's not a good thing, don't talk yourself out of it. So if you're angry, upset, you're triggered, you're irritated, whatever it is, there's a reason for it. Besides possibly being triggered by your own insecurities, it's likely a boundary has been crossed. Somebody has been disrespectful to you, or they've been offensive in their words or actions. Maybe they've accused you of selfishness because you want to take care of yourself, or you're not meeting their expectations, of course, so they might accuse you of being selfish. Well, if you loved me, you would do this. If you loved me, you'd be doing everything for me. Now, here is a fun thing to remember. The original fundamental boundary in life is that other people don't have the right to tell you anything about your life. That's the first number 1 boundary. They don't have the right to tell you how to live your life. They don't have it. So if you ask for guidance or suggestions, that's a different matter. But they don't have the right to give you unsolicited advice under the guise of helping you. And armchair coaches, they love to help you improve your life and live it the way they want you to live it. In the interest of learning more about yourself, when something like this happens and somebody's critical or judging you, if you want to, what you could do, and I did this for a long time, is if I felt like I was being judged or criticized or somebody was telling me what to do, I would objectively consider what they said. Is it true? Maybe there's a lesson in it for me in some way. Maybe there's something I need to look at within myself. This is tricky, however, because they could be giving you an opportunity to learn more about yourself, and everything does, so they could be giving you that. But it's tricky because you have to stay objective. Otherwise, you can fall into that trap of insecurities and then feeling badly. So you can honestly consider the idea if you want to. But if it feels like an attack, and it probably does if it's coming from somebody who's an armchair coach, it probably feels like an attack. Dismiss their words as unimportant. Who are they to give you advice on how to live your life? They're no one. So, to practice your boundaries, what you may want to do is practice with smaller situations. Okay, so somebody, just a very simple one, somebody wants you to stay out late and you know you need sleep. I talked about this last week or the week before, making sure you check in with yourself. Stop checking with yourself. If somebody's pressuring you, oh, come on, come out with us, stay out late, you'll be fine tomorrow at work. Yeah, I know we'll be back by 10, but you know they never get back till 1 in the morning and you have to get up at 6. So you know your boundary is you need to go home and take care of yourself, but you're going back and forth here. So you've got to check in with yourself and honor your needs. Your boundary is that you have to take care of yourself. If you know that's what you need, you have to follow through and take action on it. Or maybe somebody's asking you to volunteer for a committee or a project or something, but you know you don't have time. And you know if you do it, you're going to regret it, but you want to help. But realistically, your inner truth is that no is the correct answer. And remember, no is a complete sentence. No. If you want to soften it, you can say, sorry, I can't. Thanks for asking. And then just move on. So, becoming more aware of who you are will help you stay strong in your boundaries. If you're confused about who you are and what's important to you, what's acceptable to you, then your boundaries are going to be vague. And you'll have to figure that out as you go. Okay? And you can look back and get some ideas from the past, and that may help you. But if you are being attacked, and you know the difference, right? If you're being attacked, just dismiss their words. They don't have the right to tell you what to do. They don't. So don't even give it any weight. Okay, rule number 3. This is one of my favorites. You can change your mind at any time. Anytime. Just because you've put up with someone's behavior in the past doesn't mean you have to continue. And so many of us have done that, haven't we? It's just easier. So we do it, path of least resistance. We're going to put up with it. I just keep put up with it. You can always change your mind and change your response to that armchair coach. You can always change your mind. And when you do, and you stand up for yourself, maybe you'll speak up. Maybe you'll make a decision as to how to move forward. Honoring your boundaries, there's going to be some pushback. And you may have experienced this when you've decided, you don't want to handle this anymore. You don't want to deal with this anymore. So you might decide, I'm going to do it now. So people are going to push back at you because armchair coaches want to control you. So if you change your reaction and stand up for yourself and be strong in your power and don't do what they want, they will blame and shame you. They will do it. They're trying to control you. They're trying to assert your power over you. But it's your game, and you get to decide how to play it. You can change your rules at any time. Just because you've put up with something in the past doesn't mean you have to continue. You do not have to continue. A friend of mine says, don't play a rigged game. Isn't that great? Don't play a rigged game. You can't win with these people. So don't try to change them or expect them to act differently. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Yes, Melissa, what if it's a family member? Yes, what if it's a family member? It's the same. It's the same. You've got to play your game. I am going to talk about protecting your energy in a second. That will help you, particularly with family members or coworkers where you have to see people. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that in a minute, so that may help. I can't tell you, speaking of people not changing, I can't tell you how many times somebody has said to me, if only they would change, then my life would be better. Or if only they would stop yelling at me and criticizing me. If only they would listen to me and realize how much they've hurt me. If only they would be nice and stop telling me all the time what to do. If only they would stop treating me like a baby, then my life would be better. Or some variation of that. It will never change. That's their rigged game. They're trying to get you to play their rigged game. You don't have to play their game. You don't have to. It's your game and you decide how to play it. If you forget everything else I've said, that's the one thing I want you to remember. This is your game and you get to decide how to play it. We've established that armchair coaches don't have your best interests in mind. They don't. It's all about them, all about them, all about them. And that they are not the expert of you. They are not your expert. Just embracing that thought will make a huge difference. My friend who had the horrible work environment, once she understood this, that it was all about them and that they really didn't know anything about her, she realized their comments, their issues had no bearing on who she really was. And so she realized she didn't have to be triggered anymore. She didn't have to listen to them, and she didn't have to stay stuck feeling less than good enough. She didn't have to play their game, and she chose not to give her power to the comments. Now, remember what I said earlier? How something about how we we let them control us, we let them affect us. Okay? It's unconscious. We just do it sometimes. And what we're doing is we're giving our power away to them. When somebody upsets you and you allow yourself to get upset, then you're giving your power away. Okay? I know somebody right out there right now just said, but they really are making me mad. Well, yes, they're really making you mad. Great. I agree with you on that. But you don't have to allow them to ruin your day or affect you or make you feel less than good enough. You don't have to allow them to do that. Every time you get angry because of something somebody else said, you actually are giving them your power. Don't do that. Not good. Okay, I'm going to check the comments. Yeah. Wishing someone to change and holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I just love that statement, Ashley. Yes, right? Right? When we hold on to resentments and we hold on to all that pain and stuff, it's just hurting us. They don't care. Some of them actually want you to feel badly. Wow. So you're going to let them win. Don't let them win that one. Don't. It's not my business what everyone says about me. I had no choice but to move away. I was then diagnosed with PTSD. Yes, took blocking my family. Yes, and sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we have to block the people that are dragging us down. We just have to. It's just the way it is. Okay, now rule number 4, life rule number 4, protect your energy. Okay, if you've watched me before, you know I talk about energy all the time. We are energy. When we're angry, we're responding to an energetic vibration. We're sending out an energetic vibration. So if you have a person in your life or a situation where somebody's trying to control you, protecting your energy helps you detach from their drama, helps you step back from it. This is particularly important with people you have to see. Colleagues and family members that we, for whatever reasons, we're not going to cut them off, and I'm not advocating cutting off family members, okay? I know that sometimes it's the right thing to do, and I also know that many of us don't want to do things like that. So when you protect your energy, they won't affect you as much, okay? You won't get caught up in those emotional triggers. So if you know you have to interact with a challenging person, plan ahead. You know they're going to trigger you, so plan ahead. We cannot respond if we're caught up, entangled in our emotions. So what we're going to do, I'm going to check the comments one more time. Hold on. And notice that people who feel they need to exert control over others have a great lack of control in their own lives. The only way they can realize any sort of power is by disempowering others. Yes, Mick, that is so true, isn't it? It's they're so insecure sometimes that it's it's their way of controlling their surroundings in a sense. If I knock you down, then I'm going to be okay and you won't have time to knock me down, stuff too. Very interesting. So, to play with the energy here, I'm going to give you 3 ideas to help you protect your energy. The first one is to literally set an energetic boundary around yourself. And what I do when I use this one is I put my arms out as far as I can and I just make this motion around me. And I'm delineating my space. And I might say something along the lines of, I surround myself with love and light. I welcome only loving energies in this space. This space around me is open and clear. I might say something about if anything comes towards me that is not positive and loving, I send it out. I don't do, and some people say this sometimes, send it back where it came from. I don't do that because if somebody's sending you negative energy, I don't want to send negative energy back to them, even if it is theirs. I don't want to do that because it's not very nice. So I just send it back out. Or I might say something like, this space around me is clear, loving, and kind energies only. Anything else that is not here, I send out to the universe to be, modified or something. Okay. And when I do that, I envision an energetic kind of egg shape around me. So it's in front of me, behind me, below my feet, above my head, totally surrounding me. And I want to charge that space, that energy, with positive energies. So I want to make sure I use positive words, whatever feels right to me in that circumstance. So you may want to charge it with peace and love. You might want to charge it with protection, literal protection. I want to be protected, so I feel strong and safe. You might want that kind of thing. So you add that energy to it, intentionally using those words. You might decide to add color to it. Protection, maybe that's a violet color for you. You might want to add light and make it bright and strong. You want to feel it. So you want to feel what that would be. So if I surround myself with love and light, what does that feel like to me? How am I? And I might feel grounded and centered. I might feel stronger. Okay? So you want to feel it. So you're going to create it, you're going to energize it, and make it strong. If you repeat this regularly, daily, throughout your day, you'll find that the negative effects from other people lessen. And you'll feel better, even beyond whatever situation is going on. It will just help you be stronger in yourself. Okay, so set an energetic boundary around yourself. And I say it out loud, usually do it in front of the mirror in the morning. Okay, Colleen, today I set my intention that this, or I surround myself with, especially if something troubling is happening. Okay, the next thing you can do to protect your energy is taking action. Okay, now I know somebody's going, wait, well, how is that? I'll explain it. You're calling the shots. It's your game. Okay, so action is an energetic response. It's intentionally deciding to stay strong in your energy. You're choosing your response, intentionally choosing it. You're going to walk away, ignore them, speak your truth, plan ahead. You won't get triggered. Part of the reason we get triggered is we feel helpless. Okay, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to react. Sometimes we're surprised by the energy from another person. Sometimes, even though we know they're going to do it, we still get surprised that they're still doing it. So what we want to do is choose what we're going to do. Choose our action. We're protecting our energy by choosing because we're not giving it away. We're not giving our power away. We're not letting it be diminished or minimized by another person. We're not giving it away. So taking action is a sign of using your energy positively, protecting yourself. So you're taking control of your energy rather than allowing life to just happen. Okay, where you get all upset about something and feeling like you don't know what to do. So that's a great way to do it. You're choosing, you're using your energy. Candace says, every morning I surround myself with white light with the Holy Spirit, Protect me from any negativity. Only let in good and loving people. Thank you for everything I am and everything I have. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that's great. So you can have a long one, you can have a short one. Describe whatever it is you need. You have the power to do that. It's your game. You get to do it. Isn't that amazing? So number 1 was the boundary. Number 2 was taking action. Okay, because you're choosing to take action. Number 3, one of my favorites, is protecting your energy by sending positive energies to the other person. This protects your energy because you're choosing, again, how to use your energy. You're choosing intentionally to step into love and light. You're deciding you're not going to get caught up in the other person's energy. When they're criticizing you or trying to control you, their energies are affecting you, you're getting triggered, you're giving your power to them, blah, blah. You're intentionally going to choose to reclaim your power when you send positive energies to them. I know you don't want to. I know. I know it feels fake and it feels wrong. But you want to do the best you can to rise above their negative energies and be that positive person you really are, right? So you might say something like, I send positive, healing, and helpful energies to so-and-so for their highest and best. And you want to feel it. Positive, healing, helpful, loving, kind energies. I send da-da-da-da. I know that it for some people who haven't tried this before, I know it's like, ugh, I don't want to do that. And especially if they've really upset you or they've really hurt you, you don't want to do that. So to do this is literally rising above, like I said. I send positive, healing, loving kindness to this other person. You have to be careful and aware. Do not use this as an opportunity to try to change them, to change their energies and influence them, to manipulate them, or send an underlying energy or message of resentment, anger, pain, judgment, righteousness. Okay? A sarcastic, I'll send them love and light when all I really want to do is revenge, isn't really going to work. You've got to do the best you can. If you believe their highest and best is how you want them to act, okay, you're mad at them, you're angry, and you don't want to send them love and light and all that stuff, and you want them to act differently, and you're going to send as best you can, sort of, kind of, but not really because you have an underlying motive, you're really no better than they are. And you're trying to control them, just like they're trying to control you. And you don't want to do that, do you? You want to rise above that. You are above that. You'll do your best to send the positive energy for the highest and the best. You know, you hear these stories sometimes that are just amazing, you know, where somebody murdered a child, you know, and the mother forgives the murderer. You know, how do they even do that, right? I mean, I can't even imagine. But yet they do, because they rise above that. And they reach for that love and that light and that God energy and the spirit energy to be the best person they possibly can. So when you use your energy to send positive energies to another person, you're rising above. You're being your true self at your highest vibration, the best level possible. So when you do this, even if you can't wholly embrace it, and I understand, even if you can't wholly embrace it, you do the best you can, and that's all anybody asks of you. And you should only ask of yourself to do the best you can. Spirit will take care of the rest for you. And if you do it with regularity, you will find that you change. You're a different person. You have risen above this. The other person may or may not change. But that's not our business. Our business is taking care of ourselves and making sure we're honoring, loving, and choosing to believe in ourselves. I know that's a toughie, isn't it? It is a toughie. Okay. Be a blessing to someone every day, Joanna is saying. Put positive out there because what you put out comes back tenfold. And that is so true, Diane, isn't it? So that's part of the reason why, people used to say that thing I told you about, we have the energy comes at us and negative energy, send it back to them. You don't want to do that. You don't. Just let it go out into the universe and let it diffuse and put love and light all over that too. My daughter is always joking about how we in the spiritual fields always say love and light, and she just thinks it's hilarious. But it's really true and it's really valuable. Yes, Catherine is saying, I did that. I never lowered myself to their level. Good for you. Instead, I said I'd pray for them. And that's excellent. And remember, when we do the energy and the praying for people, especially for those of you who have never heard of this idea before, to be aware that you don't want to have an underlying motive there. You're not going for revenge. You're not wanting them to get what's coming to them. You don't want that. Okay, you're going to be above that. That's what you want to do. Yes. Susanna is saying, I have no problem sending loving, healing energy to this person. I just do not feel in a place where I want to have an active relationship with them. What do you do when trust has been seriously broken? And this is when you have to be true to yourself. Okay, just because I send positive, loving, healing energies to somebody doesn't mean I approve of their behavior or I accept their behavior into my life. If they are so profoundly affecting me in this way where trust has been broken, or I just feel so judged and criticized that every time I'm around them, I just feel horrible, then I have to do what I have to do to protect myself and protect my energy. So sometimes that does involve breaking ties with people. That's okay to do if it's necessary, if that's what you need to do. If you've done everything you can, and you know in your heart you've done everything you can to be there for another person, to help them, to support them through their issues, their troubles, and all of that. And yet it's so imbalanced that, the trust is broken or something. You've got to do what's right for you. That's the ultimate in protecting your energy. It's your game. You've got to take care of yourself. It is funny because I'm talking about the armchair coaches, them and they, it's all about them. But here I'm telling you, it's all about you. It is all about you. It's your life and how you want to live it. It's your game. Like their rigged game is their rigged game. You don't have to play their game and they don't have to play your game. Okay. But if you're choosing to have a high level game, high vibrational game, then you're going to be good. Let's see. I have forgiven for myself. Good. It does take courage and practice, Tom is saying. Yes, but once you get it, you'll never let go. Courage is so interesting. Remember, courage is doing it anyway, even with fear. Being willing to look at ourselves and say, oh, yeah, I failed on that, or I did a great job here, and not putting ourselves down for something. And so we have to be willing to step into this and move there. So anyway, that was number 4, was protecting your energy. 3 ideas there to help you with that. And rule number 5, this is the final rule. How am I doing time-wise? Not too bad. You can be or do whatever you want. Be you. It's your game. It's your life. Be you. You're here in this physical existence to live this life, to be as happy as possible. That's why you're here, to be as happy as possible. You're reclaiming yourself, your soul level being. You're reclaiming yourself so that you can have that joy that you deserve, that you're supposed to have. If other people are dragging you down, we've got to figure out how to get away from that. That's what we've been talking about tonight. You have free will. You have free will. You can create whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can have relationships with who you want to have relationships to. You can detach from other people's dramas. You can do whatever you want. You get to decide all of this. You're limitless. Nothing and no one can stop you from being you. No one, unless you let them and you give your power away to them. No one can stop you. So decide, how do you want to live? Who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to have? No one gets to dictate this to you. It is totally your game. You get to set the rules. I mean, isn't that amazing when you really think about that? That you get to set the rules. If you don't like this, then change it. If you don't like what's happening in your life, you're the only one who can change it. Nobody else can change it. You can get support, and I've talked about this in the past. You can get support from teachers, guides, workshops, things like that. That's awesome. That's great. Recommended. Definitely. But you're the only one who can implement these changes, like Tom is saying about taking courage in practice, being able and being willing to use your free will, use your power to live the life you want to have. You can let the armchair coach or a controlling person influence you if you want to. You can. Or you can stay strong in your power. Now, if you notice that somebody's getting you down, and you've been working, trying hard to not let them bug you. You've tried some of my thoughts and stuff, maybe even, and still something happens, and don't beat yourself up over it. It does take practice, as Tom is saying. You've got to practice it over and over and over again, and just be kind with yourself, because you're choosing to believe in yourself. And when you're choosing to believe in yourself, you're going to honor yourself. You're going to allow yourself to grow and learn. You're going to allow yourself to be you in all your glory, the good, the bad, the not so happy. Whatever it is, you're going to be you. When you believe in yourself, when you truly know more about you, and it's an ongoing process, it's not magical that, you listen to my show tonight and then tomorrow you are amazing. It's going to take some time and effort here. You've been conditioned for a long time. And if somebody's triggering you, they've probably been triggering you for a bit there. But once you believe in yourself and you learn more about yourself, people aren't going to bother you as much because their opinion won't be valid anymore. It doesn't make any difference what they think. Granted, we all have those moments where we feel hurt and all of that. But we just keep going and keep choosing to believe in ourselves. You want to play it the way you want to play it. You are the expert in you. Nobody else is the expert. Isn't that amazing? I just find this amazing, but I find a lot of things amazing. My students always said to me, I used to be a teacher for a long time, and I was always say, this is my favorite thing ever. And they're like, you always say that. And I'm like, this is amazing. Try this. It really works. And it really does. So, I am one of those people. I have a lot of childlike wonder, apparently. And I like to look at life from a different angle. I'm going to trust and check the comments here again. Let's see. They will get in the proper time. They will get it in the proper time for them. Yes. Yes. So sometimes, it is interesting because, there's nothing, well, I shouldn't say nothing more satisfying, but what's really satisfying is when somebody drives by you on the highway going like 100 miles an hour, and then you see them pulled over up ahead and you think, woohoo, you got it. It's kind of the same feeling to me. These people aren't being very nice, but everybody has their own lessons and they'll learn it in their own timing. Yes, I saw that came in past. That was so sad. Denise, thank you, Denise. I have fun. It's taken me 2 years to start regaining control of me again. It does take time, doesn't it? But that's okay. That's okay. We've got all the time in the world to do what we want to do. No rush, no rush. We let our lives evolve. So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight, was how it's your game, and you are the expert in your game. You get to decide the rules. Yay! So exciting. So let's see. I've been telling you my book is coming out, and my book is coming out. We're still working on it with the editor. So as we're going through that, it's kind of fun to watch. So that will be out, and it's all about strategies to help you be you. Things like I talked about tonight, so that you can be strong in your power. It's about reclaiming your power so you can be happier, basically being your courageous self. That's what my book's about, and I will talk about it more as we get even closer to my launch date. So exciting. So you can go to my website, ColleenVanderZuyden.com, or PsychicMediumColleen.com, quick link, and you can see everything that's coming up. I'm teaching a few workshops this summer, some other things going on, and you can see everything going on there. Sign up for my mailing list because I'm trying to expand my list so publishers like me better. And also my Facebook page. Follow me there, Colleen Vanderzuyden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. Then you want to follow Lily Dale, LilyDaleAssembly.org, workshops, everything coming up. call them, get your program book if you want one, look at it online, follow Lilydale Assembly Incorporated official Facebook page so that you can find out everything that's coming. So many events coming up. And as we get closer to season opening, June 24th, 25th, something like that, then we will there'll be even more things happening. Speaking of summer, if you are planning on getting a reading, I am getting a lot of people contacting me about readings, and I've heard other mediums are as well. So make sure if you know you're coming a certain weekend or a certain day and you plan to get a reading, I recommend you not walk around looking for mediums. I recommend you make an appointment in advance so that you get the reading you want to get, okay? As I understand it, workshops this summer will be in person and online at the same time. Not quite sure how that's going to go just yet, but that's what I understand as of right now. Okay, I shall stop talking to you all. Leah, I'm glad I've helped you deal with controlling people in my life. It seems like we all have controlling people, don't we? I don't know if I have too many right now, thank goodness, and I don't want to attract any, so it's nice. So thank you all for watching me tonight and following along, and feel free, of course, to send me messages as you like or write comments, and I will respond to them later on as I do. You guys have a great night, and I will see you next week. Bye.